Hey, y'all need a break. Listen to these stories from r/entitled people. Woman accuses me of my son not being mine, then berates me about his hair. I saw another post about people being weird about kids, and thought y'all might enjoy this. Standard heads up about being on mobile, formatting, etc. Earlier this week, I took my toddler son, 3 years old, to the local supercenter for a grocery run. He loves going and really loves interacting with people, which is perfect because it makes store runs easier since he enjoys it. Let me start by saying he looks nothing like me, to the point that, had he not been in the room with me the entire time after giving birth to him, I might wonder about being switched out for another kid. He's extremely fair-skinned, blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm pale, but not quite as translucent as he is, dark hair, day eyes. So we're walking around and picking up what's needed, and a woman, I won't say a Karen necessarily, but we'll call her Barbara, older, mid-60s maybe, grandmotherly, starts talking to him. "Hi sweetie. Are you having fun with Auntie tonight? I bet your mama is enjoying her night off." I'm not offended, because this isn't the first time I've gotten this, so I just smile and say, "I'm actually mom, haha. We're just running some errands and having fun." Barb, "Oh. That's a boy. What pretty hair. But you can't be mom, he doesn't look like you." Me, still smiling, "Oh trust me I know. But he's definitely mine." Barb, "He's adopted then. He's not yours." Me, confused now, "He's definitely mine. I pushed him out, pretty sure I'd know." Barb frowns, "Then you're to blame for his hair being like that. He looks like a girl." My son has long hair. It's past his shoulders, to the middle of his back. It's beautiful and healthy, and absolutely gorgeous. If he asks me to cut it, I will, but until then I'm letting myself enjoy it. I myself have very short hair, in a faux hawk style. I should have, obviously, walked away. But this is a hill for me to die on, and I've had a lot of arguments about his hair with complete strangers, so this is a topic I'm ready to throw down on. It's pulled back when it's hot out, like this night, and to keep it out of his face. Me, I like his hair. It's too pretty to cut. If he wants it cut, he'll tell me, and we'll get it cut. Until then, I'm letting it roll. Barb, "He looks like a girl. Girls have long hair and boys have short hair." I run my hand through my spiked up hawk, rub the back of my head where it's taken down to a 2, really. What does that make me? At this point she took her card and walked away with one more, "He looks like a girl and you're making him look like a girl." I wish I know what it was about kids that made people so weird. The whole time, he was playing with his monster truck toy we'd picked up, but when she walked away he waved happily and gave a nice little bye. Edit, I appreciate y'all being so supportive. I love his hair, it's silky and fine and just gorgeous. If it were up to me I'd never have it cut, but if he decides to. His body, his choice. I'm very pro kids having bodily autonomy. Unfortunately, we live in a small southern podunk town, and comments on his hair are much more frequent than they should be. As for her comments on his being adopted, I think that was just her being an a-hole. As someone pointed out, if he were and didn't know, that's an effed way to have the conversation with him. You won't stop smoking on your porch at night. Guess we'll burn our house down. Hi all. Just found out why there were a bunch of flashing lights and loud sirens on the street behind mine last night, and I am gobsmacked. The family that used to live in the house behind mine, whoever so helpfully called the police on me after I gave them a heads up about their Wi-Fi, has moved out. A new family has moved in. Our houses are separated by a couple 100 feet and a brush line. I found this out because they came to talk to me last week about my smoking a joint before I go to bed on my porch, and how the smell is terrible and it's bothering them and I just need to not do that. Note, I smoke precisely 1/2 gram joint on my screened-in porch before bed perhaps 3 to 4 times a week. The likelihood that any of the smoke from that is going anywhere near their house is slim to none. I told the new back neighbors I'll turn a ceiling fan on to thin out the smell, but I'm not going to get eaten alive by bugs just before bed because they don't want me to smoke on my own property. Porch is screened in. I guess this answer didn't satisfy them, because last night one of them came up with a cunning plan to get back at me. They dug a hole in their lawn, built a fire with a bunch of green pine wood so it'd be extra smoky, started the fire, and then put a box fan pointed at my porch next to the fire and went inside. 3 guesses what happened. If you guessed they set their own house on fire, you would be correct. One of their next door neighbors called 911 because some cinders from the fire set my back neighbor's house on fire. I have no idea how much the fire damaged the house, only that the people who lived there got arrested and given an impressive set of fines for negligence and a bunch of other things. Did I mention my county is under a fire weather warning and all of those fines are multiplied? The juiciest part and the reason I decided to post on here about it was, one of the cops was talking to the neighbors who were going on and on about the awful pot smell that I was causing and making the house uninhabitable. Cop sniffs a little bit and tells them that's not marijuana, that's a skunk. Entitled a-hole got his dog killed by allowing it into a horse paddock. This happened a few years ago when I was often horse riding at a friend's barn. She owned 6 horses, 4 ponies, and 2 Hanoverian horses. Her neighbor had 3 dogs which had no training whatsoever, and he often let them run into the horses' paddocks to not have to walk them despite the warnings of my friend. The bigger dog finally started to chase the ponies, nipping their heels to make them run while the other 2 ran among them yapping and growling. My friend would go and drag the dog out of the paddock and again warned him to keep his dog out of her property because if it ever tried that with the male Hanoverian, the dog would be history. But the guy just laughed at her. He knew that my friend had tried to report him and that didn't work, so he felt entitled to use her property as a dog toilet and her horses as dog entertainment and even hinted at that. Finally it got so bad that the ponies became so nervous they couldn't be taken for a ride anymore. They were too afraid of the dog and she warned the man one last time to keep the dogs out of her paddock, since she would now put the horses with the ponies so the male horse would protect them, and he just laughed again. He seriously believed his 40 kg shepherd mix was a match for a 700 kg gelding just because it was a hunter and the horses were a prey. So it happened what had to happen. The dog again tried to chase the ponies, attacking their legs, and finally didn't back off when the Hanoverian tried to fend them off gently. When the bigger dog growled at the horse and tried to nip the horse's legs, he kicked it and broke its back, then he ran it over. The dog was of course dead after that, but the gelding had just protected his herd. The neighbor then tried to report my friend to the police and animal control but got rebuffed. They clearly told him his dogs had nothing to do on other people's property and it was his responsibility to keep them out of it. At least his other dogs never came back into the paddock. They were very afraid of the horses after their friend was killed and they got a few nips from the horse too. Entitled racist and bully former teacher got fired and glares at me since she can't be a teacher anymore. So, when I was 16, female, I had a chemistry teacher, 28 female at the time, who from the moment that I stepped into her classroom hated me. I never gave her any reason, but I would notice she played favorites with students, and I was not her favorite student. I decided to ignore her, but that did not work at all. She would make microaggressive comments about my hair and skin, proud Afro-Boricua gal over here, would make fun of my intelligence, would fail me on purpose. I would go to another teacher to check my exams and it would be another grade, would call me out on the project I would turn in, and if I keep going this post would be hours of all the horrific things she would do to me. There were 2 incidents where I wanted to have her head. One day she put a bleaching cream on my desk and said to me, "You need to white up, little gorilla." I grabbed the cream and threw it at her head. I had been punished because of that incident but I did not regret it. She made me hate myself and I was depressed because of what was happening, but the one incident that made my blood boil was that she made fun of me for the death of my maternal grandfather. I was done playing the victim and wanted her gone and not caring for what anyone had to say. I told my friends the plan and had videos of everything that she was doing to me. So, I decided to skip her class and would walk by her classroom, open door classroom since in Puerto Rico this is normal, and had the habit that if you skip her class, you get sent to the principal's office. She took the bait and I smiled like the devil that she fell for it. So, when the principal asked me what was wrong, I played all the videos of everything she has done to me. When I was done, I turned to look at the principal and he was livid while she was Casper the Friendly Ghost pale. What came next was the principal screaming at her that she was fired and that this would be on her record and would be in her recommendation letter. The principal changed me with another teacher. There are 5, that would help me. People in my school found out it was me and some called me their hero, but others hated me for what I did. I do not regret it though, and it turns out I was not the only one she was doing this to. It has been 10 years, and I found out from a friend, since this is on her record she cannot teach and decided to become a private tutor. I saw her again and she recognized me and glared at me. I shrugged her off. She dug her own grave and she must lie on it. Edit. To those who kept asking, I did report the incident of the bleaching cream, but the old principal took the words of the teacher's pet against mine. There was another student secretly recording her, since she went multiple times to the principal and the teacher would say it was a lie, and she started to do this for proof. She recorded even my incidents and she sent me all the evidence. No, this was not planned between the 2 of us. When I walked around her classroom, she was already on break, and what she did not know is that the principal that would always believe her word was fired due to an incident of becoming inappropriate with minors. Just to clarify, entitled man gets upset I chose my cat over him. So, I had been talking to this guy for maybe a month. He seemed nice and I honestly really liked him. However, I now have blocked his number. We had decided to go get some lunch together. We actually went to my favorite sushi restaurant. Everything seemed fine until he goes, "Do you have a cat?" Now, he had never asked me if I had pets before. I have 6 at home, though only 2 of them are mine while 3 of them are my sister's and 1 is my mom's. The 2 that are mine are cats. One is a Russian blue named Simba, and I'm not sure what breed the other one is, but her name is Pokey. Anyway, I said yes, and he goes, "So that gray one on the gate was yours?" Me, "You mean Simba?" "Yeah, he likes to watch people walk by on the gate." Him, "Well, you should get rid of him." I just stared at him in shock. Obviously I didn't expect that. Me, "What?" Him, "Get rid of him. I hate cats." This was when I just got up, left a 20 for my side of the bill, and left. He followed after me and asked why I was leaving, and I simply said, "I'm not going to waste my time with someone who tells me to get rid of my cat because they don't like them." Him, "You're seriously choosing an animal over me?" Me, "I've known you for a month. I've had my cat for almost 6 years. You're damn right I'm choosing him over you, now piss off." And with that, I left and blocked his number. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments.